Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
Eh.
my other DM was just like, Maddie, I'm gonna make you this thing, and it's gonna be a jelly with
Made
tentacles and
a
spiders, and I
bard
was like, please,
and a
no.
barbarian, and
In
we made
honor
like
Yeah.
a ripoff of like Mick
in
and
honor
Mo,
of
or Rick
Borat,
and
her vagine hang like sleeves of wizard.
I'm be right back.
Alrighty, now that Leo's said be right back, let's get started, guys.
Hell yeah.
Totally
get-
leaving out Leo.
Get your dice, Ziggy.
Oh right, I gotta get my dice. I'm not doing the online dice after last week. I learned my lesson the hard way.
Yeah, it was pretty
Smart.
bad.
Oh, wait, Kaleo, he answered.
Okay.
Kaleo, he answered.
My faith in
Also-
Forge and the online dice has provided me with pretty okay rolls.
Kaleo, he is just like, are you fucking with me right now?
Well, let's get started, guys. So, if you remember, last time you met a new companion, a young man named Trax, who you found wandering in the snow on your way to the Dragon Temple. Having discovered his connections to the slave trade and the mayor, you all decided to induct him into your little group, taking him along to the Dragon Temple, which is where you discovered the true history of the Scaled Alliance, outlined in Draconic on all of the walls. As you went through and deeper into the Dragon Temple, you discovered a chamber that contained many rooms. You also discovered the firstborn of that clutch hidden in those rooms. Along with Urzia and her, you guys explored the rest, finding many different kinds of ancient texts, old books, research papers, and the like in an old library, as well as a key. And while Urog was spending his time trying to bash through a door, it seemingly magically opened. Unbeknownst to him, the party in another room had pulled a lever, which had done nothing, seemingly, to them. Having found a key and a treasure room, they went on to the final room inside this temple, which is where they discovered a chest and a strange kind of a lock. Inside the chest was a creature trapped inside of a mirror. This creature tried to convince Urog that it was forged, but Urog was having none of it. And you put the mirror back in the chest and locked it once again. Coming back to Urzia and Forestia, you guys aided them, Drax aided them in undoing the seals and runes that kept a portal trapped and hidden in stasis. Once they did, you all went through and found yourselves deeper below the temple, on an outcropping over a crevasse. It was here that you found an ancient icy blade. Taking the blade, Urzia was then greeted with a message from his father. Many tears were shed. And as the tone shifted to what would happen next, he teleported you guys back to your city, in the hopes to lie low for now until more of these connections can be unraveled. It is here we will begin today's session. On the outskirts of the city, as you enter, I believe we did that part at the end that you guys got through the guard and were about to enter your home.
I remember we discovered the individuals at our house.
Correcto.
As you open the door, you see those three individuals, Mikhail, Misha, and Rembrandt, sitting at the table with Uzela. They seem to be chatting. You can see Zormran in the corner, just kind of standing as a lifeless sentinel as he hibernates. What would you like to do?
Real quick, do I know any of these people? Have I seen them before?
You've never seen any of these people except Uzula, who you remember was a part of this group when you had kind of
Last
guided them here in your foggy state of mind.
Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna take the back seat on this one and let them do the talking.
I see that you guys are on time for our meeting.
We got here a little early and decided we'd enjoy the company of your friend Uzula.
Figured as much.
I like elbow Dura slightly and be like, enjoy the company.
All right, let's get down to business. So, what have we found?
As I had said last night, and then all three of them look at Trax and then kind of back to the rest of your group. We had not met this fellow previously.
He's new.
What do you look like right now, by the way? I can't quite remember.
So I transformed into an orc, and I'm an emissary from the clans of Moor to kind
Right,
of
right.
help out and report back on these diplomatic mission. Um, so I'm gonna kind of follow any imitations I've picked up from Dura, because Dura is a half orc, right?
Yeah.
Or full orc. I don't remember which.
Was
Um,
Dura full orc? I think Dura was full orc.
I think Dura is full orc.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow the mannerisms of Dura a bit, and then with like a bit of a gruff voice, introduce myself as Mornheim.
A pleasure to meet you. I am Mikael. This is my friend Rembrandt and my wife Misha. We had met this party of your friends the other night when we were hunting vampires.
Loktarogar.
My face goes to my. Um. So we went on a journey to the ruins to see if we can obtain some information or abilities that would help us with the fight to come. This is where we've met this gentleman over here, and he met. He points over to the our quote unquote emissary. Is like, um, this is our friend. He's not exactly an emissary from the clans of Moor, even though we said that they were. We're probably going to state that they are. We are trying to use his knowledge of inside the mayor's complex to be able to infiltrate it.
We discovered last night that the vampires are most definitely not from your plane.
Not our plane of existence.
They come from a place where I was born. It's a dark, dreary place called Barovia. I believe, and only because I saw the two last night, I believe I know which coven they're from, but aside from them, I don't know anything about this coven. I think I know who might be able to lead us to answers, though. It will
Trax is just
just take.
making mental notes of this. He started like seriously paying attention the second separate plane of existence was mentioned.
If you'll trust us, I can take you. Otherwise, we'll investigate on our own.
I feel like I trust you enough. We fought the same foes together, and you helped us when we needed it out in the snow in the forest. So I feel that trust has been gained at this point. Um, More on the sense that we want to proceed with caution, as I feel like they're starting. Um, they might have started to become a little bit uh, suspicious of us, but we still have the mayor's trust as far as we know, and hopefully we could use that to our advantage.
Mm.
From what I can tell of what we've investigated, The mayor is most definitely connected to this vampire coven. All of the Dragonborn we've discovered who have been infected, they're soldiers, mostly.
Okay.
What time of day
Well,
is it?
currently it's about 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
By the way, when we entered, was the cloaking on our house still there?
Hmm.
Okay, good.
From what
Um,
I can tell, it seems to be a plot to make stronger warriors.
I heard that they were talking about making the scaled preservers a more prevalent entity within the town. This might be what they were talking about and making their soldiers stronger.
It seems to be correct.
Well,
No,
what time were you planning on heading out of here?
as soon as you're willing.
Well, I'd say I think we've had a bit of a long day.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to take a nap.
Um,
I need to feed waffles.
are you guys not feeling well? I could go with them.
Would they be willing to wait until tomorrow morning?
Of course,
Go then.
obviously, I don't think this is too time constricted, aside from the fact that sooner or later we'll be overrun with vampire scaled preservers.
The more time that we take, the more of their forces they can muster. So we should probably get our sleep and then take off first thing in
I
the
mean,
morning.
I could just do like a short little rest, and then
That's what I was alluding to. That maybe we could just take a short rest and go on. How are you feeling, um, Trax?
Do we trust them enough to tell them who I am? Do I kind of
I
get that vibe from the group without saying anything?
Oh, okay.
And that's up to you.
Um,
Well,
I'm not.
I was gonna add on to that. These guys are humans, right?
They appear human.
Okay, they appear human, but humans that are going against the
They have told you multiple times that they are vampire hunters, yes.
yeah. So they're not even part of this town, probably, just from assumption.
It seems like they come from a much farther place.
Misha sketches me out.
Well, I say that if we're gonna get going tomorrow morning, then we should enjoy and get to know everybody tonight, and then set off first thing in the morning. I'm kind of alluding towards a short rest because I want to change one of my spells out, but or a long rest. Sorry,
A long
long
rest.
rest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
a long rest.
Got you.
Um, I'm gonna kind of walk up in my orc disguise, slap my hand on one of the guy's shoulders, and then say, "Ale, do we have ale?"
Which guy? So
I don't.
there's so
One of them.
let me because you haven't seen
Thank
them
you.
before.
Yeah, I have not.
There is a gentleman who has, I think I might actually have the pictures, but one of the gentlemen has this long black hair with this kind of thin mustache, beard, goatee going on. He's got this kind of suntanned skin, but it's pale. And then Misha, which is the girl, Misha Alabaster, she has this pure like porcelain skin
Mhm.
with white hair and white eyes.
That's
She wears
interesting.
kind of like a purple dress. And the other man, Rembrandt Darrow, he is this rogue, like rugged looking lumberjack esque figure with these like barrel chest and huge muscular arms with lots of hair all over him. What would you expect from like a typical human barbarian?
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
We could always go to the tavern
Uh,
unless you all have alcohol here.
Meanwhile, Urag comes into the room with just like three big ass flagons each hand, and just
I-
starts passing out ale. I'll be back with more.
This is
Yeah.
acceptable. Did I get the feeling they were telling us everything they know about these vampires?
Roll me an insight check.
Let's see what we get here. That is a 17.
17. You get the feeling that Mikhail is holding something back.
Hmm.
You're not sure what it is, and it doesn't seem like it's something maniacal or
Sinister.
aggressive or sinister.
Uh-huh.
It seems more mundane than that.
Okay. Like just something in. Mikhail was the alabaster one, right?
Mikhail was the kind of pale tan skin, long
Okay.
black hair.
Okay.
Misha is the alabaster.
Misha is the alabaster. Okay, got it. Okay. All right. Do I remember anything further about my time at the mayor's?
As you kind
Regarding
of go through
vampires?
this conversation, you do remember something. Just flashes of images kind of go through your head of people drinking blood. Mostly you remember humans strung up from the ceiling, and in and out you would come and see a stranger standing over the corpse or a body drinking its blood.
Do I have did Urok hand me a flagon?
Yes.
As I was about to drink, I actually feel a little sick to my stomach as this is coming up. And I'm gonna pause for a second, and then kind of like bang my chest to try and cover it up.
You feeling all right there, buddy?
Uh, just felt sick for a second.
Rembrandt, the more rugged guy, he kind of looks over and goes, "You better learn to handle your ale."
I haven't even sipped it yet.
Pansy's gonna go off to make dinner.
Okay.
Uruk comes back with the last. He even puts like one flagon kind of down in front of Zormran, just because like, yeah. And then he's gonna double fist and then make sure everybody has at least one. He's gonna double fist. Actually, he's gonna make sure Dura's double fisting too.
What are Evangeline and Dura doing right now?
I'm feeding waffles.
What are you feeding Waffles?
After seeing
Whatever I can find.
the souls of the damned.
I was gonna say.
No. He prefers the souls of the innocent.
Yeah, that too.
Our souls are safe then.
What were you gonna say, Dura?
I was gonna say, after seeing Trax unable to even take a sip of ale, I'm just gonna down mine completely. Water's gonna be just like, oh, come on, buddy, you can do better than that.
I'll sip a little bit, but the thought of drinking blood clearly has me a little disturbed. Especially, what color is it? Is it like an amber ale? I'm not sure what type it is.
I think they have mead.
Okay, if it's a mead,
Yeah, we have mead, but it's
it's
a dark
fine.
mead.
Dark mead is okay. I can at least tell the difference there. Or something
Yeah, I
thick
think-
like wine, I'd be like,
Nah. No. So
Do you guys have anything you want to ask them since you have them here?
I'm just gonna casually ask. So, how long you been hunting vampires for? Seems like a pretty random profession.
You kind of see Rembrandt and Mikhail. They have this kind of sorrowful look over in their face for a moment before Mikhail. He kind of looks up and he laughs a bit. I feel like I've always been a vampire hunter. My mother, she was a vampire hunter as well. It's kind of funny the profession you go into with the family you have.
Seems like a good family business.
Where I come from, business is booming. Unfortunately, they've gotten smarter. They've learned how to go elsewhere. As far as I can tell, this world's never had creatures like this before. It's their perfect territory for them.
Can I ask how so?
Local legends spread easily, but true information comes from hard-earned experience. People haven't killed vampires here before, or at least they killed them a long time ago. Because, as far as I can tell, most of the people on this plane don't even know the word.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna kind of
I
nod.
don't know the word.
And again, kind of reminded of the blood, I'm now just gonna start drinking more to try and get the memory out. Some people drink to remember. In this case, I drink to forget.
I'm just gonna lean in at this point and be like, so best way to like kill them.
To kill a vampire, you have to find its coffin. And then you have to impale the vampire in the coffin.
Alright,
Any
easy
other
enough.
way, and they'll just come back a few years later.
Mildly easy enough.
So, with these vampires, besides this coffin, where do they hang out? They feed on blood. Is it gotta be fresh? Couple days old?
That
What's
is the
what's
curious
their
thing.
intake?
To be a powerful vampire, as most of these covens are, it would take human livestock. They would need many individuals to fuel. Even just a vampire lord would require at least 4 minions to satisfy their thirst a day.
And these have to be human?
Not necessarily. There are goodly vampires that drink only of animal blood.
That's still a lot of animals.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Doesn't seem like a very sustainable process.
No. No, it is not. And that is why I exist.
How large do these covens usually get?
He kind of looks over to Rembrandt. How big was the last one? Rembrandt, he kind of looks over his arm, and you see these horrible scars all over his arm, on just the left arm. And he kind of looks over, and 25 vampire thralls, about 3 vampire lords, and quite a few cultists. They can be the size of a small kingdom at times.
These thrall, what are they like?
Thirsty, hungry, powerful.
How do they keep the humans there?
Usually they just lock them in cages.
At this point in time, Kenzie kind of returns to the room and is just hands down a to each person, including the vampire hunters, uh, a simple vegetable soup, uh, and it is followed by a plate with a bed of fried artichoke hearts and also fried whitefish with basil and Parmesan cheese, kind of like on
Ooh.
top.
You see Rembrandt immediately starts digging in.
Trax is gonna notice the artichoke hearts and the basil, and we're like, that's not something you would normally see around here. Very interesting.
Urag sees Rembrandt's eating as a challenge and eats as vigorously, if not more vigorously.
I'm gonna take you both up on that challenge and try to eat as fast, but because I'm so much smaller, I'm not gonna win.
There's no words spoken about this. It's just
You
like
can kind of see Misha and Mikhail sit back from the table a little bit as you guys just start devouring things.
Uncharacteristically for an orc, I'm actually going to savor and enjoy each bit of it.
You notice Uzula is kind of having like a side conversation, a little quieter, with Rembrandt as they keep up their conversation. Mikhail and Misha, they're currently kind of going over like the plan that they have for going back to Barovia. What are the rest of you doing?
Uncharacteristically for someone who's so detailed with his cooking, he's actually eating really savagely, uh, as uh, as goblins do. So, and he's eating rather quickly so that he can head to bed because they've got a lot to do in the morning. So,
Trax is kind of in silence. He's replaying these images, all these flashes that keep going into his head, and he's trying to determine from what the vampire hunters were saying, it seems real, even though in my head it still feels blurry. It still doesn't feel like it actually happened. The more I've been talking with them, the more it starts to cement. I'm gonna sleep on this and let it sink in before I bring it up.
Okay. All right. So, just for the convenience of time, we're going to go ahead and we go through the night. You guys finish your meal. The three vampire hunters say their goodbyes and they've agreed to meet in the morning. As they go off, you are all left alone in your home with reasonable privacy. What are you doing?
Pansy's already started his ritual for meditation,
Okay.
praying, and then sleep.
I'm posted up in the most central location where I have eyes on everybody's door, and then holding my forge amulet while I turtle up for bed.
Okay.
I'm immediately writing in comprehend languages to my, to my spell book. I learned my lesson last time.
Dura, Evangeline.
I took waffles and went to
As usual.
Okay.
The last one to get up. And with shoveling that food so fast, I'm just gonna be like, oh god.
Uh, Dura,
Get up
as you
slow.
are about to turn into your room to get a good night's rest, you see someone tapping on the window frantically. It is a familiar face, a stout, beefy dragonborn with golden skin and long, almost reindeer-esque horns. It's your good friend, Shion, your monk trainer.
Wait, he's outside the window tapping on the glass?
Yeah, he's also carrying a water skin of what you assume is alcohol, drinking it.
I'm gonna walk up to the window. Is it like there's a latch I need to open for the window?
Yep.
Unlatch and open up the window. I feel like, wait, why you hit the window?
Hey, Dura. So, like, it's time to train, right?
I mean, sure.
All right, let's go. Come on, come on. And you watch as he
Alright,
kind
I'm
of
just
stumbles and falls into the snow and kind of rolls over and gets back up on his feet. Takes another swig.
window. I just close it
He
quietly.
tosses you a water skin as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna start downing it.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
One way or another, Dura sleeps well tonight.
What a way to
That's
open
funny.
the night, baby!
So as you drink this down, it burns going through your throat. But as it hits your stomach and you feel that lightness you feel when you're drunk, you feel pretty confident that you can control this right now. So, Dura, what are you doing out here so late?
Is Gion asking?
Yeah.
What am I doing out here so late?
Yeah, what's going on? What are we doing? Oh, right, training. Oh my god, I forgot.
I'm just staring at him with my jaw dropped, like, dude.
Oh, guys, that's the end of the session. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been 30 minutes.
All right. Just leave
Yay!
it off
Good
on
job, everybody.
Yeah.
Just
no.
kidding.
Point it
Just
out.
kidding. Brr, 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 brr. Just kidding. Back to Shion drunk antics.
Bye.
Jira, are you ready to take the next step in your training?
I certainly am.
Fuck it, let's climb the mountain then. Goddamn. So, Dura, you
All
watch
right,
as
let's go.
this this like bowling ball of a man. He just takes the side of the mountain and just starts climbing effortlessly up the side of the mountain. For you, I'm going to need you to make a athletics check for me
Alrighty.
as you begin to ascend the mountainside. So you find your grip, and you lose it in some places, but you're just managing to keep up with Xion as he continues to climb. And as you continue to climb, at one point you feel water droplets or liquid droplets on your head, and you look up, and he's just chugging that water skin of alcohol, and then he just throws it behind him, and it just falls 40 feet or so down the mountain. Make me another athletics check. You are currently 40 feet in the air.
Jesus.
I
Again,
need
it only goes down.
I need you to make me a strength saving throw. As you lose your grip, and you begin to fall, and you try to just brace yourself against the edge and then hold fast to it like a frog would. And you just barely, after sliding about 5 feet, catch your footing again, and you begin to ascend once more. For a time, you guys continue at this pace very slowly, and then you notice he begins to speed up. I need you to make me another athletics check. As you
Oh
are now
boy, it's only gonna get worse.
60 feet in the air.
It only gets worse.
You got this, Dura?
So,
Oh,
Dura, you go and you grab a larger rock, hoping that it's steady in the mountain, and it just falls out, and you watch it tumble down the side of the mountain, creating more ripples through the side of the wall face. And as it does, you lose footing on one of the rocks as it tosses down, hits the rock you're standing on, and it just goes down as well. You begin to slide 5 feet, 5 more feet. You're 10 feet from where you were before. Go ahead and make me a strength saving throw.
okay, you know what? I'm just gonna borrow Leo's dice. I'm just gonna go on over. Flip.
No, I'm so
Flip.
sorry. I passed it to you. At least that hasn't been 4 nat ones.
True.
I say that is karma though for the nat 20 to start things off.
It's better.
Statistically.
Oh, I've never seen Cody. Ah.
Okay, so it was strength saving throw, right?
Yep.
What do I
So
add?
it's 7 plus 8.
That's pretty
15.
good.
Okay.
So you
I'm
catch
thinking-
you catch a little indent of the mountain with your foot, and you just manage to cling with your toes as you fall backwards and hit your head against the other side of the mountain face, but you're still there. And as you begin to crawl steadily back to a position on the mountain face, and you begin to climb and ascend, you notice that your sensei is about 20 feet ahead of you. To make up lost space, you have to go faster. Go ahead and make me 2 athletics checks. You are about 80 feet in the air.
18.
19.
That was
19 plus 6, so that's
25.
25, that's much better.
And I gotta make one more, right?
Yep.
6.
Plus
12.
12. Yeah.
12. So, as you begin to ascend, almost like a bug on the side of a wall, you just start going, and you get into this pace where you manage to catch up, and then you slow down, focusing on your grip, making sure that each grasp of the wall face is steady and sturdy. And as you continue to climb, it begins to get easier. Go ahead and make me one more athletics check with advantage.
With advantage? Okay, yeah. So 16. Athletics check, so that's 16. 22.
22, much better. You manage to keep up pace, and as it gets easier, you find yourself kind of enjoying the rock climbing as exercise for a moment. And then you reach the top, and you can see flat on his back your sensei, your drunk master, Shion, chugging another water skin of meat. He tosses you one. You made it! Finally!
Finally, yeah, definitely.
Just to give you an idea of how long you've been climbing, you just spent 4 hours climbing this.
Oh God.
And as you reach the top, you have a few sparring sessions with Shion. And then you realize that you've spent the entire night training. And Shion kind of gestures you to sit next to him as you look out towards the clans of Moor. You can almost make out your village from here across the sea that is in place between your two continents, or your two lands. And you can see the sun beginning to rise. And something clicks within you. This training session, the overwork and the exhaustion connects with the beauty of the sunrise and the open landscape before you. Go ahead and make me a Kriya check.
Oh boy. That is just what the dice.
I can see
That is-
Brian looking at me like, what's Kriya?
It's a
That's why
14.
I'm like, oh shit.
It's a 14.
A 14. All right. You feel something break within you like a floodgate. You can feel an energy pulsate through you into your fingers, tingling them. And as it passes, you feel stronger. Dura, roll me a d6.
I
You got a 5?
got a 5.
You see images in your head of alcohol and its composition, and you just entertain a thought for a moment. And you hold that water skin of mead, and you infuse it with your Kriya, and you take a drink from it. It almost tastes like a health potion with alcohol in it. As you begin to realize that you can now turn any alcohol infused with your own essence into a health potion. Or a means to regain health, I should say.
So you get drunk and regain health. This seems like a win-win.
For your purposes, somewhere on your character sheet, you have a new feature called Brewmaster.
Heck yeah.
You may do this a number of times a day equal to your Kriya modifier.
So about that healer that we needed.
Filling through alcohol. Never thought I'd say that.
And we will end that there, and we'll move on to the next person in just a moment. I'll be right back.
I'm not an alcoholic. It's healthy.
It is. It is very healthy.
Yeah, a glass of wine every now and then.
Oh my god.
I
Oh,
can't
do you not have Kriya on your sheet yet?
It
Mr.
should be at the
Track?
bottom of your skills section.
I'm the alcohol.
That's why I'm asking. I'm asking if you were told about Kriya or not, Mr. Trax.
By his reaction.
I was not.
You were not. Okay,
I am
this
not
will be
aware
fun.
of the Kriya.
I'm not gonna say anything. This should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I am not aware of the Kriya.
Cool.
You lack a kriya.
I lack understanding of the Kriya.
Yeah, you do.
Wait,
Soon you will become enlightened by Kriya.
So, moving on. Pansy,
He's in
your
meditation.
ritual seems to, your meditation and your ritual that you do nightly, for the second time, it feels as if there's nothing reaching out to you. But in this nothing, you feel something inside of you. A tug, a pull. You see flashes of metal bars crossed over each other. A box, a prison. And then nothing. As you buckle down for the night and you fall asleep, your dream state is strange. You feel much more in control than you usually do in your own dreams. It's much more vivid and real. You are inside a familiar setting, but also different. You don't know why you recognize it, but it feels so comfortable. In the center is a fighting pit that reminds you of the ones you fought in all your life. But surrounding it is finery and furs, beautiful and ornate trinkets. You recognize these as trophies from previous victories. The only thing that seems out of place is the golden-skinned dragonborn standing in the center of the room. You recognize her immediately as Amane, the woman who had trained you before. She seems to be waiting for you.
He's probably still in his like meditative stance, and so from his meditative stance, he kind of stands up. I presume that we don't need to talk about why you're here. Let's just start.
She nods. But then she begins to talk. I'll have you know, Pansy, or I disliked this method of training. But if you're going to break the bad habits he instilled in you, it's necessary. Tonight, I will train you the basics of Kriya. Understanding what it is most important. Look around you. What do you think this is? Where do you think you are?
A question to the DM. Do I still see the box or prison or no? No bars.
That's a good question. You do. In one of the corners of the room, and it only as you thought about it did it appear. But you see it. The bars covering each other in these cross sections, like perpendicular and parallel to each other. The darkness inside of this room is unending, and you can't really even see in it. But what you can make out are several piles of coal. Amane looks in the direction you're looking, but she doesn't say anything.
I see bars, a prison, a box, and coals, fire.
I can only assume that is a part of what this grand whole is. This is your inner sanctum, Pansy, your heart chamber. This is your central cluster of where everything of you exists. This is how we will open up your Kriya pathways so that you may use the energy as will. The Sun Wardens refer to Kriya as the will of the soul, channeling one's own soul through their own body. It's very dangerous and not to be taken lightly.
I figure that if I channel it through anger, it shouldn't be able to proliferate. So, what am I supposed to do? Channel it through focus?
Kriya has a habit of reflecting one's true intent. It doesn't matter what we outwardly project or how we outwardly project it. What matters is what it really means. Allow me to show you. You watch as she begins to hold up her staff. This radiant energy flows through her arm and into the staff. You watch this light solidify until it's almost blinding. This is my Kriya, and it burns hotter than any sun. She then extinguishes it, and the light goes out.
I can clearly see that. Not.
Yours, I assume, will be like Orai's, flawed fundamentally, but trainable. You guys spend a little bit of time training in basics of combat. She keeps insulting Orai, making suggestions that he was less than he seemed to be, making suggestions that he was weak-willed, constantly returning to that.
As she does that, uh, during the combat, he starts to become more aggressive and more aggressive in his fighting, as he gets angrier and angrier by what she's talking about.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. So that is a not too amazing, but it's 16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes flick to the cage once more, and as you get angrier, you notice the coals begin to glow, this faint orange.
And he does take notice to that, but he's kind of starting to get a little bit blinded by his own by his own rage. And as he attacks, he starts making more violent and wider swings.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack.
Okay. He's attacking with his maul like he always does.
Mhm.
That was bad. That was a nat 1.
You watch as you swing in rage, and with her bow staff, she quickly just jets up, catching the hammer on its on the maul of it, and lifting it out of your hands and over. It clangs on the floor a few feet away from you, and she points her bow staff to you. It's a shame Orai went so weak-handed on you. You're strong. Rage blinds you, weakens you.
He's going
You're
to
so susceptible to it.
he's going to pull his battle axe from his side holster, and he's going to start using that.
Roll attack for me.
Go away. There we go. Much better. 22.
22. So you swing your great axe, and she barely holds out against this strike as you actually manage to push her a few feet from her previous position as she tries to grapple your blow with her bow staff. You can hear a small splintering sound coming from its center as she kind of hops away.
Um, he's going to chase after her, and he's going to lock his great axe, the way that it curves into
Mhm.
her bow staff and pull it down, and then get in her face. He's like, "Let's see you talk about Ori like that again."
Roll attack.
Okay. That's a little less. That was 21.
21. So you manage to kind of, as she's blocking, you grapple and pull it down. And as you say that, she has a retort. You think weapons are what combat is about. You'll find harshly that words hurt more. And as she says that, brilliant light shines from her, blinding you for a moment. And as your vision returns, she's gone.
Piece of shit.
Roll me a perception check.
Um. Okay. Another natural one.
Oof. You watch as you look around and you don't see her, and then you hear a whooshing sound, and you look up, and she's about 10 feet in the air. Her bow staff comes crashing down. It hits you square in the head, Pansy, crashing you into the floor. As it does, flashes of your life pass before your eyes, images of someone else's life pass before your eyes. And then something clicks. A dam breaks, and you feel this hot, burning energy flow through your body all at once. It's almost overwhelming. Make me a constitution saving throw.
That's better. My Constitution saving throw is 23.
23. Part of your skin begins to burn, and you watch as it blackens and bubbles. And then you center yourself. You take deep breaths. Roll me a d6.
Would you believe me if I said I got one?
You got a 1. Something about your eyes feels different. As the energy begins to pour into your eyes, it burns and everything begins to go dark and then light, blindingly so. And as you look up at your trainer, you watch as a horrified face crosses over her and she jumps back like 10 feet. And then she composes herself and doesn't understand why she did it. You have unlocked a new Kriya ability. You've discovered that just by looking into the eyes of another and using your Kriya, you can frighten them.
Okay.
She looks and she calms down a bit. That is enough training for today. You watch as, in a cloud of bright smoke, she disappears, and you're left alone in this chamber with your thoughts and with the cage. Parts of this room feel comfortable to a point where you like it, but the cage, it feels so out of place. It doesn't feel like you. It feels like something dark, something evil.
He's gonna take the cage and he's gonna put it in the far corner of whatever room he's in. Like he's just gonna
So the
try to.
cage is a part of the wall.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's as if this cubic cage was pushed into this portion of the wall.
Well, that's what I assumed at first, but then you were like, it was just kind of like there. So I was like, okay, maybe it's something that I can hold. Okay, sure. In
It's
that
like
case,
so it's 10 feet by 10 feet, by the way,
then
just so you
he's
have a size reference.
okay. He doesn't feel comfortable. He's gonna try and leave this area at this point. He's like, though he feels comfortable here, he doesn't feel like he needs to be here at this moment.
Are you going to investigate the cage?
Sure.
You go up to it and you notice that the embers that you saw before have gotten hot, much hotter. As you approach the cage, you can feel the heat beginning to emanate off of it. Parts of the bars have begun to glow a soft yellow. As you approach, you can see some of the coal begin to almost roll as if it was alive.
He's going to
It
try.
begins to collect. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's gonna try and focus his Kriya that he just learned how to do, and he's gonna see if there's any change within the coals and the bars.
As you attempt to use your Kriya, go ahead and make me the roll.
$11.
You hear a laugh, a deep, dark laugh. And suddenly, you hear this. Wait, not that. Roll back a second. Clicked on the wrong thing.
We'll just nix that. Retcon. Let's go.
Where'd it go?
Ixnay on the Oispe.
Sorry, I had to. I had uploaded the wrong one on accident. Where are you now? All right. You begin to hear this.
Oh, so now you want to talk to me. Now you're gonna give me the time of day. After so many years of trying to lock me out, trying to get rid of me, trying to pretend I don't exist. I'm you, Pansy. I'm your rage, your anger, everything that makes you strong.
And as it's talking, the coal clumps together into this vile face. And as it stops talking, the coal falls to the ground, black, dead.
Can he reach the coal?
Can he reach it?
Yeah.
The bars are in front, but you could try to reach in.
He's going to reach in and he's going to try and take some of the coal.
Okay. You take 12 fire damage as your skin almost melts away in places as you put it past the bars, but you do grab a piece of coal.
That's not it. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Oh, and just so you know, you will keep that damage at the end of the long rest.
Oh boy, great, wonderful. So he's going to take that coal and he's gonna smear it underneath his boot. He's gonna throw it onto the ground and smear it underneath his boot.
Interesting. You hear a low, guttural grumble from the cage, but nothing else.
He's gonna go take his ball. He's gonna find a nice corner of the room where he doesn't feel like he will be too distracted by the bars or anything, and then he's going to meditate.
So, tracks.
Present.
You wanted to perform a ritual to summon your familiar?
I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and start summoning Gossamer.
We have so many
Uh,
pets.
yeah. It wasn't the right time to bring her in last session. Um, Normally she has the form of a cat, but a cat does seem a little out of place up here. So he's gonna go ahead and bring her in the form of a fey hawk,
Okay.
and he's just gonna kind of say he's kind of out of character now. He's like, "Oh, darling, I've missed you. It has been quite a time without you, and I'm happy to have you back." Um, let her kind of keep watch as I for my last trick. Um, so actually, I don't know. Maybe you can give me some insight on this, Zach. I have a feature as part of my background to create a false identity.
Hmm.
A second identity that includes documentation, established acquaintances, and disguises and such.
Do you want to work on that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna work on that a little bit with some of the papers that Pansy shared with me, um, to kind of establish and cement and at least bring forward my background a little bit more, so that way it can hold up a little bit more to any questioning should the occasion arise.
Okay. You work for a little bit before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Trick or tracks.
Um, I
Did you
believe
say
that's
trick or
everything.
tracks?
You missed an opportunity with that one.
Happy Halloween.
Yet.
So,
Yet.
as you all fall into slumber, except for Dura, who is spending a night all night climbing and watching the sunset with her trainer. Uh, Urag, you were the first to wake up because there's a metal hand on your shoulder.
I just get up right away. I know what's up.
Time is of the essence. We must go.
Mhm. All right.
Zorman steps out of the house with you trailing behind him.
Okay. I wrote stuff down about this. Hold on.
Okay.
Because you gave me advantage for stuff, and now I'm
I
like,
did.
where are my notes? I must find them. Yeah, next attempt at advantage. Dated last week.
You reach the forge, and you can see the young Bayfire Orenson working on a small dagger at the forge.
I'm gonna see if I can help him finish it.
You spend about 30 minutes. Zormran doesn't aid you in this,
Uh-uh.
but he watches intently. And as you realize you know a few things now, and you actually know a few tricks and tips that he didn't. And the finished product comes out much better for it. I'm not going to have you roll anything because you've spent quite a bit of time working on different blacksmithing projects.
This is out of the goodness of my heart.
Hey Zach.
Yes.
Did you want me to roll health for Gossamer?
Whatever the basic standard health for the Feyhawk is.
Okay.
90,000.
I wouldn't even know. I'd be like, oh, that sounds about right. So as you begin to start on your artifact, you feel much more pumped. You have a lot more information. You have a lot more knowledge now, and especially after seeing Urzia take up his mantle, you feel this sense of accomplishment welling up in you that you know you can do it this time. Roll with advantage, a performance check, and a strength check.
Okay. Okay. That's mean, dice. That's mean. Alright, I'm gonna try this.
So
I do strong things strongly.
your form could use some work, but the passion you put behind the project carries it the rest of the way.
I
And
want
as
to channel the
you,
moment. I want to channel the moment that Forge tapped into me when I saw the blade that Urzia received and the perfect sheath that I then subsequently came up with and channel that inspiration.
you channel that inspiration into the object, and you can feel energy flowing from you as each thrash of the hammer to the anvil bangs against the object, and you watch as the metal begins to make way, and it forms into the amulet that you've sought after. This anvil with a black obsidian blade thrust through. The energy inside of it is immense, and you can feel it immediately. Zormran takes a deep breath. You've done it. You've officially passed the first rite. You have proven that you have the right intention. Now you must prove that you have the right speech. Present the holy words of Forge to your amulet, and strike it once more thus. He says, and then he begins to breathe deeply, all air into his lungs. And you watch as he speaks aloud, and you can almost hear thunder in his voice. Gordul Dahamar, Barfun Dormak. And you watch lightning strike the anvil before you. And then he steps back and gives you the chance to do it.
What was that last part again?
So it is Gordul Dahamar, Barthun Dormak.
That's gonna be tough because I only keep getting the first part. Okay.
You want
Gordu
me to say it again?
Hamar. And then what was the last part again?
Barthun Dormak.
Borthun Damak, right?
And you strike with your hammer against the anvil one last time. Thunder comes down, but it's not this. Lightning comes down, but it's not the same color you'd expect. It is a deep orange lightning. And you watch as little cinders begin to form around the blade as it enters the anvil in your little amulet. This eternal flame sparks up and doesn't go out. You now have the effects of a torch in an amulet.
That's pretty cool.
After I got my dark vision.
That's only one of the things it does.
I know.
So,
I'm just like,
as you see Zormran smile, and he nods. There is one last trial before the rest. You must prove you have the right action now that you have the right speech and intention. Break your foes. Prove your weapon's superiority. He actually opens his hand to take your great axe.
place it in his hand.
He clutches it and he looks it over. Forge. He had a way of creating items in hibernation, in a state of chrysalis. You have seen it before in your friend's weapon. This crude obsidian axe is only its first and initial shape. As you prove its merit, it will evolve with you. And he hands it back to you. I believe soon the chrysalis will break, and the weapon's true form will show itself.
I will honor this for Forge. And for you.
He nods, and you both begin to walk back. If there's anything you want to ask him now.
I want to ask him about, what was it? The Blade of Everwinter. And the Dragon Breaking Greatsword.
The Blade of Everwinter.
Notes.
Once it was the dragon-breaking greatsword.
How does it do that?
It was shattered. The rest of the blade fell to the land, Only a sliver of it was left. It was taken by Hailstrom, the Scale Lord, used as his own weapon for a time. I know not where the other shards are, but I imagine they are quite powerful on their own, even without their true form.
And then I ask him about sheath creation.
As you express to him the vision you had, he looks genuinely surprised. I had only heard tell of dwarves with the capability to have fated breakthroughs in blacksmithing. You are blessed. Forge looks kindly upon you. Certainly. I recommend you find the greatest materials you can. It will only make it easier when it comes time to forge.
Okay.
And as you and Zormran walk back to your house in the very early morning, you watch as a dragonborn and orc begin to kind of like slide down the mountainside, drunk. You see Dura and her master Shion.
Are they sledding?
They're like sliding down the mountain. It's not like it's like a super sheer cliff, so they're like holding on like a tool of some sort probably and sliding down the mountainside.
A part of me instantly is like, oh, she left without me. And then the other parts of me like, oh, you would have missed Zorman's trading, and that's more important.
Do you have anything to say as you see Zormran and your turtle friend Dura?
Wait, what?
Do you say anything as you're sliding down the mountain with your trainer? You see Zormran and Urag walking back to the house.
I'm just gonna shout from the mountainside as I'm sliding down. I've got you healing alcohol.
I just looked at Zorman. I'm like, oh yeah, she's blasted.
Healing alcohol. Strange. You can see Shion as he gets to this one part of the mountain. He literally just starts rolling down.
I was gonna go for that. Fuck.
Drinking while
I'm
rolling.
gonna try to mimic him and roll down.
Lands
that
like
reminds
this.
me. That reminds me of a story to share later.
As you reach the bottom of the mountain, Dura, you feel the exhaustion sweep over you. That is when your master hands you a
Oh.
single tincture of this golden liquid. He says, drink that. It'll help you with daytime. And then he drinks one himself, and you watch him, like, in a second, compose himself. Yes, that was quite fun. Do you drink it?
I'm gonna take whatever he handed me and drink it.
All right.
Yeah, I
You do
drink
not
it.
suffer a point of exhaustion for a lost night of sleep, as well as you gain the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, that's a dank. I was gonna be from the back, like where I was like, did they just drink piss? Like,
You can see in like scrawled handwriting on the side of the tincture, it says bone hurdy juice.
God.
I love
Oh
it.
my god.
And then he kind of like half stumbles, half walks like a normal person, just kind of away in a random direction.
I love Shion.
Drunken master,
So,
master of the four winds. Um, and it is morning, and as Urag and Zormran and Dura return to the home, the rest of you begin to awaken. Where is Maddie? I just realized Maddie's not here.
I don't know.
She was kind of
Feeding
Good?
waffles.
she was kind of fading in and out.
She her Discord's giving her trouble.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say
Well,
though is gonna be weird for them as they wake up in the morning, as Pansy's not making them breakfast. Normally he'd be the first one up and he'd be making breakfast. He's not.
Trax, unfamiliar with this, kind of wakes up. He's gonna put on those robes that he found yesterday and kind of inspect them, take a little bit of a closer look at them.
You put on these beautiful, pristine robes.
They seemed very nice. They were highly magical, which is very cool to me. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do my disguise self with butterscotch.
Oh yeah, I got all the shit written down.
And then I'm gonna let Gossamer out the window to go do her thing,
Okay.
as she will probably do her hunting ritual in the morning. And then I'm gonna head downstairs. I've never experienced Pansy making breakfast, so I'm not expecting anything. I'm just gonna go straight down and kind of search for the kitchen, and start to make breakfast anyway.
Well, yeah, but for everybody else on the team, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Pansy wakes up and he immediately goes and he touches his hands and he looks at them where he grabbed the coals with. Are they still kind of blistered?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Next he does this. He goes to his foot where his boot where he smeared that coals, and he's going to wipe the bottom of his sole and then bring it up to bring it up to his face and see what does he see.
So initially, Pansy, you notice that there is coal on your hands. But as you look at the bottoms of your feet, there isn't any.
Okay, from the coals on his hand, he's gonna do this. He's gonna start wiping it all over, up and down his forearm.
That is when you realize that the coal marks that are on your palms, they're embedded into your skin.
Oh.
It's almost as if it's a tattoo.
He's gonna stare at it just like as if they were blood on his hands. And he's gonna go to the corner and he's gonna meditate.
Okay.
And he's gonna meditate for an hour. Because he wants that short rest.
Does Trax notice this, or am I just in the kitchen?
Pansy's, I'm assuming, doing that in his room, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question
For Trax, actually. That was the gold and white set of robes, correct? That you put on?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we have other ones. I just wanted to make sure I'm keeping track of all this stuff we got.
I grabbed the fuzzy boots.
Boots that were fur-lined, yes.
The
The
fur
boots
boots.
with the fur.
We are going to take a quick break, guys. Feel free to discuss the items and stuff. We're just going to wait real quick to give Maddie a second to get back on.
Is there a description for the robes that grabbed?
That Trax grabbed?
Ooh.
Yeah, he's wearing these beautiful gold and gold embroidered white robes.
Okay. Write that down because I need that description.
I'll be right back.
Oh wait, I just saw your shirt, Zach. That's legit. I'll talk to him about it when he gets back. Oscar, is Cody over there with you? Different Cody, by the way.
Yeah, my buddy who came into town. No, he went to go see some homies. I don't know. He told me. I told him we are playing D&D, so he's gonna hit me up after.
Okay.
I was looking. I was condensing all my notes for this campaign in my a new booklet so that everything's like nice and neat. And something that I noticed is that there's a couple things inside our inventory that has never been discussed ever again, and we need to talk about them. Like the fact that I have a green ring that we haven't identified at all yet.
Well,
Oh, I see Maddie has come back.
Now we have a wizard, so
Yeah, I'm just letting you know that we have a green ring that we haven't identified at all. And
You guys have several items you haven't identified yet.
yeah, I know.
many items we haven't.
Well, I meant this one's old. This one was from a while back ago. This was from the treasure chest from the initiation that we did.
You also have that dagger. Don't
Yeah.
forget about that dagger.
No, I know. The evil dagger is somewhere in my bag that I'm not.
Oh
I'm
I
not
yeah.
touching.
forgotten about y'all.
Oh yeah, the evil. It was evil. That's right.
I still have a hook horror claw, by the way.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, I know you. I took one. I
Yeah,
think you gave me one for in
yeah,
replacement for the axe for whatever
yeah.
reason.
As like a thank you. Mine's in the cart.
And then I have a wooden quail figure. I don't know what that is.
You do.
We do?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? When did this is before I got my journal? Fuck. All right. I'm gonna while we're all, I guess, eating breakfast or waiting for Pansy, I'm gonna look at Trax and be like, so you do like magic stuff like Urzia?
Yes. Are we around our vampire hunting friends?
They haven't arrived yet, no.
Okay. Yes, quite. I am a practitioner of the magical arts, or the weave, as we know it. Urzia, surprisingly, is another such fellow. Although I am quite confounded as to his connection to it. It's something that I do wish to ascertain more truth about. Um, Quite fascinating that he seems to simply be. A lot of us have a natural inborn connection. Others of us have to study it much further. But it seems that his connection is very natural, very inborn, and very powerful with how he works with it. Quite fascinating, I must say. And you seem to be quite the burly fellow. That seems to have been quite a keynote in your past as well.
We got like a third of that, but I heard Urzia, and that's pretty cool by me. So yeah, I'm one of the bigger ones of my tribe. But we got a bunch of stuff. Can you help us figure out like what it does? I know what
I
these
can
do, and I like point to my goggles. I'm like, these help me kind of see in the dark.
I can
Figured
take a
that
look
out.
at it. I do not have identify prepared.
You son of a bitch!
I have to stay in character. I can only do one, I think.
No, you can
Uh
change out a lot of spells at a long rest for
oh.
prepared spells as a wizard, right? DM, back me up.
Huh?
When you reset your
I
prepared
thought
spells as a wizard, you can choose any from your spell book.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of the day. You choose any spell from your spellbook.
Yeah. Also, on top
okay.
of that, if you're talking about switching out a spell for a new spell, you can only do that once per
Per
level.
yeah,
Oh, so for like what I know, or
Yeah.
for like cantrips and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
if you have
Okay, that's what
identify
it
in
would
your
be.
spellbook, you can transfer it out in the morning, or like put it in your prepared spells in the morning.
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Okay.
Like
once
a
you get a
cleric.
big enough spell book,
Swi-
you could have like a whole offensive set, and then like a whole
Right.
like we're gonna be
Yeah.
stealthy set.
All right.
Switching out a spell from your spellbook is part of your known spells. For prepared spells, you have all these spells in a book, so you can prepare them at any time. Really,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
usually through a long rest.
AKA prepare, identify, because we need it badly.
Then I'm going to kindly say, well, I do not have that spell prepared, but perhaps over breakfast I can mull it over and write it into my booklet here.
Ooh. And I will literally just dump out like all the shit. There's some cloth armor that's fur lined on the table. There's a lantern with a hood. I don't know if it's on or not. Um, there's a tincture with red liquid. Uh, and that's all I have.
I'm just
Uh,
gonna kind of look and be like,
Fur-lined boots, the lantern, the red potion, the fur-lined like leather cloth armor, and the robes and the goggles were all you guys got from
Yeah.
that.
And Dura's equipped the boots already, I believe, and you've just equipped the robes already.
I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
that is quite a collection.
Whoa. we did save you from starving in the forest, so
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not. This is not an ungrateful or an act of.
awesome. Now here, have a plate of eggs, and I give him some eggs. and
It's like, is this gonna take some time? I'm kinda like, well, fuck.
and if you need anything, just
uh,
probably ask from somebody else because I won't be able to help with the books very much.
how much time do we have?
Pansy is
Just-
It is right about. Oh, go ahead, Pansy.
Pansy's been has not come from his room at all. He's in there. He's quiet. It is quiet. It will be quiet for at least an hour.
What are Evangeline and Dura doing?
So, I finally got down the mountain and back to the place, right?
Yes. You came in when Urag came in.
Cool.
I imagine just straight hitting the
I'm
couch.
just like, I'm gonna be.
Well, no, she took the
I'm
tincture.
just
She's
kind of
well rested.
more or less just excited I can make healing alcohol. Just gonna go up to Urag and be like, hey,
Yeah.
did you learn?
Are you cutting in and out a little bit for me?
I was,
Oh, still
I go up
cutting
to
out a
healing
bit.
alcohol and we climbed a giant mountain. God.
That is
You know-
ridiculously kick ass. Can I have a sip?
Still have like the amount I made? Or was it just
Yeah,
like a
you still
small
have
amount?
the single amount that you made. It's like it's a
I'm
single
a-
water skin. The healing effects only work once, just to make sure you understand that. But you can repeat the process a number of times equal to your Kriya modifier a day.
So essentially, I can imbue the alcohol, and once someone takes a sip, the healing goes to them.
Yep.
Okay, because I don't want to accidentally waste it.
I need to
I'm gonna
lock
tell
that.
Urog like, you know what? You get to try it when you get hurt. Okay?
Oh, I guess that makes you can only mix like so much at once.
It's limited.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right?
We have tons of other
My
alcohol.
mead making is unlimited.
Just as a
We
heads up.
got plenty of normal alcohol. Yeah,
And
no.
then I go. Speaking of which, and I pull out breakfast beer. I'm like, here you go.
Heck yeah.
What were you gonna say, Trax?
Just a heads up. It takes me 11 minutes per item to identify, so I don't know how long we wanna wait.
Ritually, it's 10. I thought.
1 minute plus 10.
Yeah, it's 1 minute plus 10. That's correct.
Oh shit. Been doing that wrong.
So I don't know how long we're waiting around for breakfast, but I'm kind of just going.
I'll say that you have enough time to identify 3 of those.
Okay.
It's also
Uh,
it's also because that he needs to make a magic circle, so that 1 minute is making the magic circle. The actual ritual is 10 minutes.
So, really, there are only 3 things I put out in front of you.
you put out the lantern, the boots, and then what else was it?
Dura's wearing the boots, the cloth armor that's
Oh.
fur-lined, and the tincture of red liquid.
And the lantern.
Yeah, and the lantern.
Okay, so I'll identify those 3.
Okay. So you guys spend the rest of this time talking amongst each other, preparing yourselves, kind of eating your breakfast. Can Urag and Evangeline make me perception checks? Hello?
I was
Can
gonna say.
Urag and
Oh, I didn't.
Evangeline
My
make
bad. I
me-
didn't hear Urag. I'm sorry. Perception.
Thank you.
Apologies.
So, Evangeline doesn't notice. She's too busy playing with waffles, having a good time, enjoying breakfast. But Urag, you notice that Pansy's not here.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say earlier, but I kind of forgot. I'm gonna make a plate of breakfast for Pansy, kind of
Okay.
how I know he likes to make it for himself, and I will take it to his door, and kind of just like, "Hey, breakfast."
There's no response.
Knock louder. Pansy.
No response.
How much of a strength check do I need to break down this door?
I mean, there's like a hole in the wall next to the door that just has like some planks covering it.
Because of
That-
because of Zorman.
Oh yeah, this horn ran hole. I'm just gonna bust like Kool-Aid Man through the, but like holding the plate, so it's still
re-break the hole.
yeah, and just a concerned look on my face, like Pansy.
He's in a corner, with his like little like rug and everything, just meditating in the corner, and you just see him just not pay attention to any of the things that you just did, the loudness, everything. He's just there, cross-legged.
Go up to Pansy, just kind of like shake his shoulder a bit.
All right, what?
I'm like, I still have the plate. It's undamaged from my bursting. Breakfast.
I'll have
You
breakfast in a little bit.
okay?
Just put it on
Well,
the dinner table.
I didn't know if you got kidnapped by vampires in the night. I'm sorry if I was concerned. And I'll walk away. But like the breakfast is there. There's like a little garnish.
He kind of checks it over to see if Urag is even competent at cooking. just because of curiosity.
In my heart, I want him to be. But I will leave this up to the DM.
Did Urag cook it?
I mean, if we want to leave this up to like the dice, make a performance check.
Oh no, the performance isn't the good one, guys.
Can I assist? Because I think I did help with
Ah!
too.
Yeah, you get advantage, Urag. You get
Good, because I rolled a 2.
advantage.
Yeah.
It's quite excellent. It's quite excellent.
He gives the bottom lip of approval, and then he goes away, and then he goes back to meditating for the rest of his hour. The food will probably be cold by the time he comes back downstairs.
After I finish identifying, I'm gonna do a quick check to see where Gossamer is. If Gossamer was successful in her hunting.
You can see on the windowsill that is still open from the previous night.
Mhm.
The hawk. It's a hawk, right?
Yeah.
The hawk lands on the windowsill with a small mouse in its beak as it eats.
Oh, excellent. We're fed.
It just kind of continues eating.
What did I identify?
So, since we're ready with that, you take this kind of orange, red, flickering liquid in the potion bottle and you observe it for a little bit. You make your magic circle and you place it in there and cast Identify. It is a potion of fire breath.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Then you take the leather armor and you place it down, and you realize it is a set of studded leather armor of resistance, and it is resistant to cold. It's studded leather armor of cold resistance, basically.
Got it.
The lantern I think, is the most interesting item. As you
Choice.
discover, it is a lantern of revealing. It can burn for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil, shedding bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they are in the lantern's bright light.
I feel like there's a Green Lantern reference in here, but I dig it. I dig it. I'm pretty fascinated with this lantern. You know, the cold resistance, studded leather armor. I mean, the fire breath potion is pretty cool. But this lantern is fascinating. The whole group's not with us, right? This is when I'm finally gonna look up and realize who all is here. Is Urog back downstairs yet?
Urag is just coming back downstairs as you finish.
Okay, I think I'm gonna notice Pansy's not there for the first time too. And then we have Eva here as well, right? And probably Waffles.
Evangeline, Waffles, and Dura are here.
Okay.
Waffles is just kind of staring at Dura.
Wait, what was that last bit?
Waffles is
Wait.
staring at Dura.
Flip him off. I almost said it again. I'm gonna rephrase it. The goat can go fuck itself.
Be nice to my waffles.
Can I just add for flavor? I just
He's
imagine
trying to get into my
Evangeline.
head, the little demon.
We're gonna eat him someday.
No, you're not
Like-
touching my waffles. I will fucking fight you all.
If we eat it, we could say we're eating waffles, but it's goat.
When she says I'm playing with waffles, I
It'll
just
be a
imagine
worthy sacrifice.
patty cake with like the frog tongue is just like doing the other hand.
Oh.
No, no, I have enough tongue, enough tentacles, and everything else for a week.
Or we could turn off the. We can just dim like go into a dark room, set him down, and have his rainbow eyes come back and have a rave.
You guys are dorks.
Absolutely.
Rug just like spins in his shell.
Dude, the breakdancing style.
We'll put in the lantern inside his shell and he'll spin. It'll cause rave lights.
All right, let's all get back into it.
All right.
We never got out of it.
At this point, your allies, the vampire hunters, return to your home.
Oh shoot! Quickly, can I tell them
Oh.
what I discovered before
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
that? Before they get back, I'm gonna
Let's
explain.
say, just so that we can make this clearer, let's say, Pansy, the hour has passed by now.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my hit dice for now.
Go ahead. Trying to regain some health.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to. Oh, I forgot to take my long rest too. Shoot. Take a long rest.
You feel that as vitality returns to you, Pansy, you realize that as much as the burns have gone away, the charcoal marks are still there.
Mhm.
That deep black, now marked into your skin, is still there.
Okay.
Do you go downstairs?
Yeah, he will. Give me 1 second. I'm still rolling. Yeah, he goes downstairs for just
Okay.
the sake of brevity.
Go ahead,
I'm
Trax.
I'm gonna greet Pansy when he comes down. Say I hope he's feeling all right. I've had mornings like this. I have no idea what happened. Part of me just thinks he got super drunk last night. And I'm just kind of like, yeah. I've had those kind of mornings.
He as he's walking down from the stairs, he kind of looks at his arms. Quite a night. All right. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then he'll meet everybody at the table.
Oh look, the cranky goblin is awake.
Shut the fuck up.
No.
Something strange happens. We'll get to you in just a second, Trax.
Okay.
Waffles kind of skitters behind you, Maddie, as Pansy walks into the room.
Waffles, what's wrong?
He whimpers a little bit.
No,
Oh,
what
hold
is
on.
this?
I'm fucking broken again.
Can you hear us?
Echo.
It's just really fucking annoying because it fucks up my audio. So you guys become very quiet, even though you guys are at the loudest setting as possible.
Oh, weird. But yeah, Waffles is kind of reacting scared to Pansy's presence. What
I
were you
see
going to
this.
say?
Sorry, go Trax.
I was taking a swig of water. I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, do it.
Okay. So notice Waffles doing this. I'm gonna be like, oh, is the Holy Paladin scaring you? Oh.
This is the first time Trax is gonna realize that Pansy's a paladin. Because he hasn't seen him use any spells or anything up to this point.
He's gonna stare at Waffles a little bit and notice his like cowering. Look directly into its eyes, and then after like 3 seconds of just staring, he's going to tear away and then go to the table.
For just the briefest moment, Leo, as you stared at him and you imbued that fear into him, you felt this sense of satisfaction.
Till I can get my satisfaction. Okay, anyways.
You wanted to tell everybody about the items?
Yes, so I'm gonna hold up the potion of fire breathing, explain that it is a potion of fire breathing. And then I'm going to point out the studded leather armor and indicate that it has cold resistance. Quite interesting.
That's
But
nice.
But the most interesting is this lantern. I'm actually going to take the most detail on this because this is pretty fascinating to me too. It is the lantern of revealing, and while it does consume oil, it will reveal any invisible creatures within its radius as well as light the area. But mostly, the invisible creatures. That's pretty cool.
That's
It's
pretty
pretty
cool.
fascinating. And I'm going to hand them all back to Urog
Oh, cool. I'm
because
gonna
he was the
kind
one
of
that gave them to me.
I'm gonna go look around to the group, and I'm gonna give Dura the potion of fire breath, because I'll be like, that'll be really cool. If you have like a good burp, you can just like try and pound that real fast, and it'll just be really funny. And then I'm gonna
A
give the
different version
leather.
of Fireball.
Yeah, now it becomes deadly. I'm gonna give the leather armor to Evangeline. I'm like, don't get cold. And then um, I'm gonna go over to Pansy and be like, what do you want to do with this cool ass lantern?
Well, if you remember me talking about this before, the vampires can go invisible, so it's perfect for that.
You want to hold it?
Um, sure.
Okay.
I'll take the lantern and I'll put it in my inventory. It's a lantern of revealing.
Yes.
Also, on top of that, he gonna because Trax has just like identified everything that we needed. He's gonna slide us. He's gonna take something out of his pocket, from his side pocket, and he's gonna slide it over. Slide it over to him. He's like, we've got this green ring that we've been holding on to for a while too. If you can check that out on your free time. Now let's get down to business.
This was the green ring that was in the chest, right? In the
Yeah.
the Autumn Caverns.
Yes.
Okay.
Now that we've been distributed honored items, I want to
I'm
make sure
gonna
you
pick
guys.
up Waffles.
Let's get down to business. Where's the vampire hunters? They're supposed to be here by now.
That is when you hear a knock on the door.
Ah, timely, I see. And then he walks over to the door, and then he opens it. And then
If you
just
were
let.
trying to speak, Trax, you were muted.
Thank you. Before they walk in, I'm going to pocket the ring and butterscotch.
Butterscotch.
And I'm just gonna be arguing with Evangeline, like, no, you should go change. It's cold outside. Like,
By the way, Evangeline, if you refresh your page, I've already added the item into your page. It's an upgrade, so that's pretty cool. Your AC is now 13, and you have resistance to cold damage.
Awesome. So I'm gonna pick up Waffles and then head to my room. And while I'm heading to my room, I'm gonna whisper to Waffles, be like, "That's okay. Ignore the cranky goblin. We don't deal with him anyways.
I can
He's
still
not
hear
important.
you.
I don't give a fuck. Shut up."
While you guys are doing this, the vampire hunters walk inside and are very confused.
It's a demon goat. Don't touch or look at the goat. It's evil.
Also,
Look.
be aware of the cranky goblin. And then shuts the door to my room and goes and gets dressed.
Look, I'm new here, and even I can tell that thing is off.
Are you all ready to go?
I would say yes.
Oh,
I mean,
You all?
well for me.
DM, can I ask you a really quick question?
Go ahead.
Where exactly are we going to? I forgot. I've forgotten.
He explained that he's taking you all to Barovia
For.
to discover the identity of the coven that has come to this land. More specifically, the identity of their leader.
Okay. In that case, he's gonna go outside as they're doing this conversation to get his supplies. What he's gonna take with him from the cart, which he normally keeps in stock, because like we carry around our shit,
Okay.
a lot of shit. Um, he's gonna take the potion of invisibility off of the cart. He's gonna take the holy water, the two vials of holy water that he has, and he's gonna take the hunting traps, and he's gonna take 5 healing salves.
what all do we have in the cart? Jeez.
A lot. You guys have a lot in that cart.
I like
They
forgot a
dropped you
lot.
all.
Leo, if you could share that list with me, I'd appreciate that, so I
Sure.
could keep it.
Sure, I've been
consistent.
keeping it in my personal inventory. It's called the cart's inventory.
Yeah, I'm doing that in like other possessions, just kind of breaking them down, like
Yeah,
in bag.
I'll give it to you in a little bit.
Did you say you took some of the oil?
Yes, he's gonna take he's gonna take all of the oil, and he's also gonna take all of the holy water.
Okay.
Oil, holy water, 5 healing salves, uh, the potion of invisibility, and the 3 hunting traps.
Okay.
He's not exactly sure where he's going, but he thinks this is like a stealth mission where they can get hurt too, because we're going into deep into enemy territory.
All right. So,
Uh,
anything else?
do we have oil?
Yeah, he grabbed some from the cart. There's 2
Okay.
vials of or 2 oil, 2
It was 2 flasks.
yeah, 2 flasks of oil. How
Okay.
many ounces is that again?
It's a quart each.
Okay.
So it's 2 quarts. So
Cool.
half a gallon.
All right. As you guys watch, Misha begins to scrawl this strange runic symbols into a doorway on the wall. While she's preparing this, Mikael and Rembrandt talk to Uzula and all of you. We intend to leave Uzula behind. Misha will stay to protect her, just in case anyone comes to stick their nose in your business. Does that sound agreeable?
I think that sounds
I
very
come back into the room of the minute they say that, and I'm gonna be like, "Well, if you two fuck, don't do it in my bed, please."
I Misha kind of like looks side-eyed, like she isn't the one who would want to fuck. Rufus. She's
Hey,
happily
I don't
married.
know. Don't ask me. I don't know. Everyone has their own preferences.
Um,
I give a side eye to Evangeline, but then go back to the conversation. Well, anyway, I think that's very wise as a decision. So let's get on our way. If you guys already have uh gathered your materials, I'm going to start distributing things.
Drax
you
was paying
see-
attention to her inscribing and whatever she was doing. He's trying to figure out what she was casting, what she's doing.
Then Trax, you watch her pull a purple crystal out of her pocket and stab it into the wall. As she does, it liquidates and begins to create this like portal of viscous purple liquid as a doorway.
Before
Pretty cool.
before we pass through the doorway, he's gonna gather all of our teammates here in the room,
Mm-hmm.
not part of the vampire hunters, and
Yeah.
he's gonna give everybody a healing salve. So this is basically a healing potion, but it's topical, so you put it on the wound. So everybody gets one healing salve. This is a bit that from the 5 he got from the
You would just input it as a healing potion.
yeah,
Yeah.
just input it as a healing potion.
Okay. Just a normal healing potion.
Yeah. He's going to give a holy water to Trax.
A holy water. Got it.
Yeah, he's gonna give a holy water to Trax. Use this if a vampire bites you, so that you don't become a vampire.
Good to know.
He's going to give hunting traps to Urag. One hunting trap to Urag, one to Dura. And he's gonna keep keep who here can use oil?
What do you mean?
Yeah. Rogue's like, I mean, when I have dry skin, like.
I mean, I'm thinking about this in the long term. Vampires are weak against flame. At least that's what we've seen so far. So we're gonna need fire at some point. So I need somebody else to hold the other quart of oil.
Give it to Dura.
Most
She
of
can
my
breathe fire.
spells are fire.
Yeah, that's
Or
why you don't need
Evangeline.
it. He's gonna give it to Dura.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay,
For
so
the setup.
you have one flask of whale oil, and then he's gonna keep the potion invisibility for himself because if anyone needs to be invisible, it's probably gonna need to be him. Well, actually, you know, Urag could take it too. That'd be smart. He's gonna give the potion of invisibility to Urag.
Invisible tank.
Invisible
Visibarian.
because he's the biggest one.
Yeah. Okay. So as you
If
guys
he-
collect your
Thank-
stuff and you ready yourselves for whatever awaits you,
He does explain it to Urag as we go through the portal what the potion of his invisibility does.
did you have something to say, Dura? Dura?
Yeah, sorry, it was loading. I was gonna say, since he handed me the whale oil, terrible thought came to mind. Just use the fire breathing potion and then grab the whale oil and splatter around like a fire breather.
Oh my god. That's so funny. I thought you were gonna say you were gonna light waffles on fire.
I mean,
Yeah.
Just keep that holy water away from us.
Secretly, just like put oil on your hand every time you pet him, and then like over time he just builds up a really oily coat, and then you just ignite him one day. Too dark?
Or just use the fire breathing potion and and then see if Waffles does catch on fire. Like, oh no, I'm so sorry, I didn't know.
Hashtag
Eva, I won't actually do that to you.
hashtag immune to fire.
Just keep that holy water away from me and Waffles.
I'm sorry, Waffles.
but not really.
No, you're not.
Yeah, because the demon would just go up and that.
Like-
So,
Fuck that goat.
you've all walked through the portal.
Gossamer is gonna fly onto my shoulder as we go through the portal.
Last words as we go through. Is
Waffles
that a
is my-
fucking Bert?
I'm holding Waffles in my arms.
You all make it through unscathed as you reach the other side. You are inside the interior of a castle. Beautiful red tapestries and carpets adorn the interior of this castle. And as Mikael takes you through, he begins to explain, "This castle belongs to my father, Strahd von Zarvik. He is the lord of Barovia. Once he was
say.
a tyrant. Once he was a tyrant, but my mother changed him. And as you guys reach this nice, kind of beautiful study full of books, he calls out, "Father, are you there?" And you hear a man go, one moment. And he kind of rushes out. He's wearing a pink apron under his or over his like very fancy debonair outfit. The apron says "Father of the Year." He has a tray of cookies. He puts it down on the little coffee table. "Would you like some cookies? They're freshly baked." I do love baking.
Do these cookies look sketch?
They look like normal chocolate chip cookies.
Urar's gonna eat one. Oscar's suspicious as all balls right now.
It's delicious.
I
I'm-
bet it is.
I'll take a cookie.
You watch Waffle's tongue flick out of his mouth and then retract back into his mouth with a cookie.
tries even more. That's not normal. What the
Pansy,
fuck?
Pansy is not going to eat the cookie, but he's gonna pocket the cookie. He's gonna thank
Okay.
you. He's gonna thank him.
Trax
Oh.
in disguise is gonna turn to Eva and be like, "What kind of goat did you say that was again?"
After seeing what the little demon goat
No
did,
response.
I am not going to grab a cookie.
Did I get?
Evangeline, do you have a response to Trax?
Oh shoot, I didn't catch it. What was it?
Evangeline.
I didn't hear. What was it again? I had to fix myself.
Oh, when.
Oh.
So I haven't seen the tongue. So when Waffles just like tongued the cookie, I've never seen a goat do that. So I turned to Eva and I was like, what kind of goat did you say that was?" In character, in my disguise.
This is actually my familiar.
Oh, that makes
So
Re-
yeah, he's
My
not
response.
a normal goat, but he's cute and adorable. And he likes to be nice to people.
He
okay.
All of
That
them
makes
are
sense.
he
sketch. And
likes to be nice to
to my
people. Puts
Waffle.
hands on face.
He likes to be nice. He's trying to be nice, but they're all being mean.
Haven't
I'm getting my head. What part of that is nice?
He's trying. We're working on it. It's a work in progress.
Sure.
Ah.
He's several
Yes.
times he's tried to
Make
get
a
my head.
wisdom saving throw for
Oh
me.
shit. And so it begins.
That is a 18.
Suddenly you're aware of something prodding in your mind. And then you feel an even darker presence behind the goat.
Behind the goat?
As
Okay.
if to say it's a cohort of some darker, far stranger being.
Yeah, okay, fuck that goat.
Like,
I'm gonna side eye very, very distrustingly at that goat. I'm like, no. Okay. I'm also kind of while keeping an eye on the goat now because that was just not normal. I'm gonna
Pansies
see if there's anything in the library that's of any interest after making my introduction, of course.
Too
Pan,
much.
Pansies
Too much?
Too
Pansies
much of interest.
Pansy's
It's
gonna
fascinating.
Pansy's gonna look at Trax for the brief moment that he's flustered for whatever reason, not exactly knowing what's going on, but he kind of looks at the goat and then looks at him, and he's like, "Don't worry about it too much. It's normal."
As soon as Pansy looks at the goat like hides in Evangeline's clothes.
Just stick with me.
Stop
You'll be
being
fine.
my goat.
I didn't even do anything. I just looked at him.
Exactly.
Strahd,
Stop looking at him.
Strahd, Mikhail, and Rembrandt are just kind of sitting there, waiting for you guys to be done talking about this goat.
Can I have another cookie?
Oh, no, help yourself, dear.
Thank you.
All right.
Eat the
So
cookie.
we're here on business. So where are we going?
Mikhail, did you have need of me? Mikhail kind of looks over to you and then he kind of takes the reins and looks at his father and Father, the Coven of Shadows, where is their mausoleum? Strahd stands up. You hear lightning, or you see lightning flash behind him out the window, and then you hear the thunder seconds later as he looks out the window, and then back to the rest of you. I think that coven is in the graveyard near the swamp.
Sorry,
Do you
what
want
did
me
he
to
do?
pack your lunches?
So we're going to a graveyard.
So there was like lightning flashing behind
Yeah.
him, and then the sound of thunder, and he turned around and just started talking to you like a normal person.
Okay.
So
Do you
we're
want me
going
to
to a
pack your
graveyard.
lunches? Mikhail looks at Evangeline and nods. I guess we are.
Yay!
Um, Pansy's gonna look at out the window and then looks at him. Is like, "Do you think this is a really good idea to go out at this exact moment? Is there a thunderstorm coming? What's going on?"
Strahd, he looks over at you and he says, "Oh, that just happens sometimes. Lightning, lightning, thunder, thunder."
Right. Okay.
Sounds like a beautiful day today.
It is cloudy outside, but there's no rain.
Did Trax notice anything about that?
No,
Okay.
not particularly.
Rog is having a second cookie.
It's delicious.
Then in that case, did he notice any spell books? Anything in the area that might have anything related to that?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Pansy's gonna start heading towards the door.
Perception. That is a 16.
You don't notice any spell books or anyone casting spells in the vicinity.
Cool. Just perusing, enjoying my time. Gosper is still on my shoulder.
Strahd kind of walks out of the room for a moment, and Mikhail and Rembrandt turn back to you. We now know where we have to go. A graveyard. Is everybody still okay with this? It will
Can we go
probably
now?
be dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's go now. Come on. I'm excited. Let's go.
I'm
Come on.
going to.
Come on.
I'm gonna be with Eva and be like, I'm gonna keep a close eye on her. Please,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna whisper to Eva, please don't sacrifice anything to get near.
But
With my mouth full of cookies, I'm just gonna be like, "How did he know?"
Pansy's like, "You've already seen my radiant energy. We'll be fine."
Trax is ready to go. He's just enjoying the library.
As Strahd returns, lightning, lightning, thunder, thunder.
Third cookie.
He hands you all like these little like paper bags with food in them, like little tiny sandwiches and little pieces of like roasted potato.
Can Trax gonna ask if he's a magician?
Not particularly, but you pick things up after a few centuries.
few centuries. That's quite a long time to live.
If you're an immortal vampire, you have a lot of time.
What?
Okay.
you.
Time out. Time out.
The scene is I am picking up handfuls of cookies and shoving them in my bag and my pack lunch, just like filling it with cookies. I'm just like, wait, what?
Sidebar.
That's really
Mikhail and
cool.
Rembrandt are just kind of laughing.
That's really
Jazz
cool.
music stops.
So,
So, do I need to cleanse this man?
I'm gonna look at Pansy and be like, hand on my axe, like, do we need to fucking do this right now?
well, Trax is kind of. I mean, clearly this has not been a hostile situation. He's telling us this information, so
And he just fed us cookies
I
and
meant-
just gave
you
us
know.
food.
I meant that
And
as a,
they're delicious, but
I meant that more as a rhetorical. Like, we're not actually gonna fight him, but why?
Yeah, but that's what I'm kind of curious. Like, that's interesting information to share to vampire hunters.
My
That's
son's
really
been interested
cool.
in vampire hunting for so long. It's just one of his hobbies. He'll grow out of it eventually after a few centuries.
See, it's cool. That means they have all the time in the world to do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. Let
My-
them live their life.
Mikhail is just like palm in face.
I'm just like hand on my axe, but still eating cookies. Like I don't know what to do. I'm just very torn at this moment. Like
I'm gotta be honest, I did not hear axe when you
Mik-
said that. I was so confused.
Mikhail,
Yes?
we're gonna go do the thing that we need to. We're going to the graveyard right now.
That would be nice.
While we go, you need to tell me about your father.
Ah, I was hoping we would avoid that. But okay.
Let's go. And they start walking, and then they talk about it.
Have fun,
You-
kids!
Mikhail, you do know you can also ignore the cranky goblin.
Shut the
backing up
fuck
slowly.
up, Evangeline.
No! You shut the fuck up. You cause issues.
I'm literally just not gonna stop facing Strahd the entire time with like one last cookie and just be like, thank you for the cookies. Hand on axe.
I'm gonna
He's
wave
gonna-
bye to the dad and be like, thank you again for the food. It was really good.
Of
Waffles
course,
liked
come
it
back
too.
anytime.
Wave and
Thank
just
you.
say thank you.
Can Trax gather anything from? I mean, he's clearly being honest, but is this like an honest as I'm so much more powerful than you, I can kind of just do whatever I want, or an honest as in like he's actually good natured?
It kind of feels like both.
Okay.
I like this man.
But anyways, as they are walking, Pansy starts asking questions like, "Why is his dad a vampire? How long
Are
has
you
he
a
been
vampire?
alive? Are you a vampire? Why are you vampire hunting if your father is a vampire?" These very mundane, very specific
He
questions.
starts with it's complicated.
It's dated 1016 and it says Zarovich fucking vampire. I just want to point it out.
Whoa,
So-
calm down. Stop pestering the poor dude.
My mother was an adventurer who was sucked into Barovia by the dark mists. My father, Strahd, was once an egomaniacal tyrant who did nothing but torment the people of Barovia for centuries. One day, this group of adventurers, they stopped him. They thought they had killed him, but no such luck. He came back. They stopped him again, and the cycle repeated for many years. As my mother says, if you can't beat them, marry them and force them to change.
Good wisdom. Good
All
wisdom.
right.
Your mother's bright.
So, right. About that. Who were these adventurers? Or heroes?
They were just adventurers from another land far off. another plane, similar to yours, but quite different in nature. It's a place called Faerun.
So
Yep. Go ahead.
are you a vampire?
I am. Well, it's complicated. I am a hybrid of vampire and human, born like this.
You're a halfling?
Uh, in some ways, I suppose. I
Cool.
uh, I do not burn in the sunlight. I do not die if I cross a running stream. I am more human, I think, than vampire, but I do not die.
So what leads you to hunt vampires?
My mother, actually,